Hello, my name is Adam Davidson, owner of Dental Digital. In this video, I'd like to share with you a powerful strategy that you can use on Facebook and Instagram, an advertising strategy that will help you bring in 20 to 40, if not more than that, quality dental implant inquiries monthly. Now, if you're in a position where you can grow your dental implant patient base, you definitely want to be advertising that service on Facebook and Instagram. And if you do it correctly, you can really see a lot of new patients going ahead. You can see a lot of new consultations monthly of people who are in the local market actually looking for dental implants. So I've put together a PowerPoint here, and I'm going to show you some examples of how to actually set up a campaign on Facebook and Instagram that will not only bring you in new patients for dental implants, but it will help you stand out in the local area as one of the best dentists to go to for that service. So as you can see in the background here, the basis of this video is to show you how to attract high quality, and that's a key point there, high quality implant patients using Facebook and Instagram advertisements. Now, if Facebook and Instagram advertising is something you're currently not using for your practice, I highly recommend that you actually put that within your strategy, within your marketing strategy, because that will help you bring in monthly new inquiries, monthly new patients, and it can really position you as one of the best dentists to go to in your area if it's done properly. So I'm going to move on to just the basics of running an implant campaign, some basics that you need to know that ensure success on the campaigns. Okay, and then I'll get on to actually the advertisement itself, what you want to include in the advertisement, the actual type form, which is where you qualify people, extremely important part of this strategy, and then obviously so on and so forth. So the basics are target a 5 to 10 mile radius around your practice to start out with. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with running advertisements on Facebook, but you can actually target any area or any given location that you want to. However, what a lot of dentists do is they start too broad. Okay, they will start with like 20 miles, 25 miles. You don't want to do that. You want to dominate your local area first. So what you want to do is you want to target 5 to 10 mile radius around your practice. You will still reach tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands. But the key is you're dominating that local area first, and then you can actually expand into other areas. The second point I have here is target age ranges 30 to 65 plus. So on Facebook and Instagram, you can, when advertising, target any age range you want to, obviously to be relevant to the treatment that you're promoting. However, in this example, you want to, or in an implant campaign, you want to target 30 to 65 plus. Okay, that's what's going to bring you in the most interest. People above the ages of 30 statistically could need an implant more so than someone who's younger. They may also have the funds to actually afford that treatment as well. Okay, so that's proven to work best. Third point here is you want to use manual placements on Facebook and Instagram. I'll get onto what that means in a moment when I show you how to set this up. And the fourth point is use a picture of an implantologist on your promotion. So whoever the implant surgeon is who's going to be carrying out the promotion, you want to actually use a picture of those people or that individual and show that person to the local market. It will build a lot of trust. It will have your ad stand out on the actual newsfeed, and it will just build a lot of credibility with you. People would like to know who it is that's going to be carrying out the actual treatment. Okay, so that's a very important part. You want at least one ad running with the implant or the implantologist or the implant surgeon on the actual ad itself. Now, the fifth point here is use type form to qualify leads. Obviously a very important part of this process, which I will get onto, and it will make complete sense. Okay, so let me just show you exactly how to set this up here. So in the background I have what's called the Facebook Ads Manager. Okay, this is how you actually create a campaign on Facebook and Instagram. I do have other videos that show you how to do this from scratch. However, let me just click off this at the moment. I'll just close this here, and you want to come to, again, like I said, your Facebook Ads Manager, and what you want to do is you want to click Create. This is going to show you how to target your local area, okay, and also how to target a certain age range. So what you want to do is you want to click on Conversions. That is the type of campaign you want to run for the type form, which will make sense in a moment. You want to click Continue, and then you want to go to New Ad Set here. Okay, again, this is just showing you how to actually target your local area and a certain age range. Now, as you can see here, that it says United Kingdom. You can actually target your local area in this section here on Facebook. So first of all, you want to start off with location. So where it says people living in or recently in this location, you want to actually target people living in the location only. Okay, so you definitely want to get those local residents who actually live there. Okay, this will ensure that you're getting in front of local people only who can actually travel into your practice. Now, the second part here is obviously you can target wherever it is you're based. Now, in this video, I'm just going to put an address where I'm based. So if I just type in anywhere here, so I'll just type in here, which is very close to me, this address here. But what you would do is you would type in your address, okay? And what will happen is it will come up with a check mark, and as you can see here, that will be your location. In this example, this is the location that I've just typed in. So as you can see here, you can actually target a kilometer radius here. So what you want to do is, like I said, you want to start with 5 to 10. Obviously I said 5 to 10 miles is a little bit less than what a kilometer is measured as. But again, it's still the same sort of thing. So I'll just type in 5 kilometers here. Okay, so I would want to start with a 5 kilometer local radius. Now, depending on where you're based, you may be in an area where you don't have much population. In that case, you can obviously expand your radius. Now, as you can see here on the right-hand side here, within a 5 kilometer radius of this position or this location, there's 102,000 to 120,000 people who live in this area who are, registered on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so that's obviously a huge audience. However, we have to scroll down and change our age. We have to change the age ranges that we're targeting. Okay, so as you can see here, 18 to 65 plus. So, as I mentioned, you want to do 30 to 65 plus. So we're only getting the older age ranges for the reasons that I mentioned before. And as you can see, 30 to 65 plus, there's still a nice 75 to 88,000 people in the area. Yours may be different, but whatever it is, you're still going to have most likely multiple tens of thousands, in some areas even hundreds of thousands. Okay, so 75 to 88,000 people just within 5 kilometers is a huge amount of people to target. Okay, so this is what you want to do. Obviously, you want to do all genders because obviously both genders could actually need the treatment. And then scrolling down, last but not least, as I said about manual placements, Facebook like to automatically place your advertisements all over in different sections of Facebook. Okay, by choosing manual placements, you can actually choose where your advertisements will show. So for example, you want to click on manual placements, you want to untick Messenger, untick Audience Network, and only have Facebook and Instagram ticked. And then you want to actually get rid of everything other than Facebook and Instagram newsfeed. So you want to untick all of this stuff, okay? Because all of this stuff here is not going to get you the most results with an implant campaign. You only want to be spending your money where your campaign is going to get the most attention, which is the Facebook and Instagram newsfeed, okay? That's very, very important. So let's just go back to the PowerPoint here. So as I said here, obviously you can use Typeform to qualify leads and use a picture of the implantologist. I've already touched on that, but I will touch on the Typeform a lot more in detail in the next few slides. So step one is actually creating the advertisement. So what I've just showed you there is the basics of actually setting up, as we can see here, the fundamentals to make this campaign work. So when you click next on this campaign here, it will take you to the part where you actually create the advertisement itself. Okay, now I'm not going to walk through this here. I'm just going to give you the basics of how to actually write a powerful campaign that will get a lot of people interested in the first place. Okay, so what you want to do is, as I said, you want to use a picture of the implantologist on your promotion, and you also potentially want a version of the campaign that uses a picture or a video testimonial of a real implant patient who's actually going to head at your practice. If you can have those two together, let's say, for example, you have one campaign that shows a picture of your team or the implantologist, and you have one campaign that shows a picture of your patients or a video testimonial of your patient, you're just going to be, standing out so much in your area because so many dentists don't use that type of content. And especially if you have someone who's giving you a testimonial, people who are suffering the same issues as that person, they're going to relate with that content a lot more than they would, let's say, with a stock image, which is what a lot of dentists do. Okay, so if you can find content that is based around, again, the implantologist himself or herself, or an actual patient who's gone ahead with the treatment at your practice, that's the best kind of content you can get for your campaigns. Okay, that will help you stand out a lot. Now, third point here is mention credibility in your campaigns. Again, I will show you an example of this in a moment. But basically what I mean by that is you want to actually mention things like, you've been placing implants for over 15 years, you've placed thousands of implants, you're renowned for your work all around the country, wherever it is you're based. You want to mention if you're award-winning practice, if you've won awards as an individual, you want to mention that credibility. When it comes to implants, people like to know what your experience is and actually, how you could say qualified you are. Okay, they want to know that. And then, as a result, by mentioning your credibility, you're going to position yourself as a very high-end practice, which then will enable you to charge obviously high amounts, which implants are. They're obviously very expensive. So this will just position you as a practice that would be worth spending that money at. Okay, if that makes sense. Now, the fourth part is limit the amount of availability you have of consultations. So you don't want to do this obviously in an obvious way, but you don't just want to run a campaign that just talks about, you have unlimited amount of consults. You want to actually put a limit on it. So I usually go for 20 or 25 consultations, and then I will say for the run up to a certain event. So for example, right now I'm running Christmas promotions, and what we're saying in a lot of campaigns is in the run up to Christmas, we have 20 consultations available with such and such person. And what that does is that creates a lot of urgency around the ad. So when you actually mention credibility, okay, and now you're limiting consults, people all of a sudden feel a need that they need to do it now, okay, rather than procrastinating on that decision. So the fifth point here is I've got call out your area. So when you're actually running a promotion to your local area, you just want to call out that area so it captures those people with attention who live in the area. And the sixth point here is call out problem and offer solution. So let me show you an example of this and how this works, okay? So just to show you an example of a Facebook ad campaign that would incorporate all these different fundamentals to the actual text itself. Now obviously with a Facebook ad campaign you have the text and then you have the image, okay, or the video that you're going to use. Now I'm not going to show you that part. However, like I said, you want to use images of the implantologist or videos or pictures of patients or video testimonials of patients. That will go underneath this text part that you're about to see here. So let me just touch on this here. So as you can see here in the background, this touches or incorporates all these different principles that I just mentioned. So it says attention. Obviously, I've blanked certain parts out for privacy reasons. This is a real campaign that's running. So attention, and this will say the area that they're based in. Okay, so therefore you're calling out that area. Like I said, that's one of the 5 things or 5 or 6 things that you need in this campaign. Okay, then you can see here we have 20 dental implant consultations available with our expert implantologist, doctor, so on, which obviously you will mention your own implantologist there. And as you can see, 20 dental implant consultations available. So again, it's adding that limited sort of availability. It creates a lot of urgency. Then I'm calling out the problem. So like I said, suffering from missing teeth or loose dentures, or calling out the audience, you could say, because anyone who actually has missing teeth or loose dentures, they're going to obviously relate with this ad. Okay, it's going to have them stop and read. Then what I'm doing is I'm giving them a solution. So these next 3 sentences are really the solution to that. So then the answer is dental implants. These are the closest thing to having natural teeth. They're fixed to the jaw and can last a lifetime. All of our patients can eat the foods they love again and smile with confidence after this treatment. Okay, so again, this is just a solution. So obviously you're creating the problem here and you're offering them the solution. Now, then you want to go into your credibility. So as you can see here, this part that's blanked mentions the surgeon's name. Then it goes on to has been restoring smiles just like yours for 20 plus years and is renowned for his amazing work for thousands of patients all across the UK. Now obviously this is the credibility here. You may have more credibility than that. Maybe you've got years of experience, maybe you've got awards, maybe you have an idea of how many actual implant cases you've treated, and if it's in the thousands you want to mention that. So there's many things that you can do in this section here, but you don't want to go too much into it. Keep it to 2 to 3 sentences. But yeah, I mean, this is a very important part of the actual ad. Now what I've put in here is I've put payment options available. I would suggest you mention that, because it just helps people. It just gets rid of that question. A lot of people will ask that. It just gets rid of that from the get-go. And then goes into consultations available from January 2022. So please fill out our quick survey by clicking Learn More so you can get to know your situation better and to see if you're eligible. Okay, we look forward to restoring your smile. And then at the bottom here just signs off with the practice name. And then as you can see here, this little blue line at the bottom, this is actually the start of the image that I'm using. Okay, so again, this text is at the top of the ad and then the image is below that, or the video, or whatever it is you're going to use, hopefully with the suggestions that I gave you. So this would be an example. Obviously you can use your own version, but this is an example how you'd put that text in place. Okay, so let's go on to the next point here. So qualifying leads using Typeform. Okay, so this part is very important. So once someone's actually gone through the ad, let's say they've read this advertisement, they're interested, what will happen is there will be a button at the bottom of the ad which says Learn More, okay, which you can select when you're creating an advertisement, and basically people will click on that button. Now, where you send them is really how you qualify these leads, okay, because you don't want to send them to a website, you don't really want to send them to any other external site, like a landing page. I mean, you can do landing pages, but, you know, really the best way to qualify these people is by creating an online questionnaire that really sifts out the time wasters, okay, and it really only gets the serious of people. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm going to show you an example of a live type form or an example type form which you can actually create. Okay, so what you're looking at in the background is what's called Typeform. Okay, so Typeform is an online software that anyone can use. It's very cheap as well. And you can create online questionnaire forms to generate quality leads. Okay, and the way that the software works is when you create a questionnaire, you can create it to be very, very smooth. So it's very easy for people to fill out, but you can also add a lot of questions and very in-depth questions. Okay, so it's very, very powerful, especially linked with a good dental implant campaign. So let me show you an example of a dental implant form that you would use here. So as you can see here, you can set up different questions, okay? And as you can see, number 1 here is, hello there, thank you for your interest in dental implants at X Dental. Obviously, this isn't a real dentist. I've just filled this out Just to give you an example here. We can't wait to share with you how you can restore your smile back to life. We need you to fill out this short questionnaire so we can get to know your situation a little better. Once this is done, you would have reserved your spot. So again, it's all tying in with the 20 spots, you could say, or whatever it is you decide. So again, what it says is once this is done, you would have reserved your spot, and our team will be in contact to book you in. Okay, and then it says sound good, yes or no. On the right hand side is like a little video here that sort of just shows how the implant works or whatever. Okay, you don't have to use this. Again, this is just an example. So what would happen is they'd press yes. I'm just going to whiz through this quickly, but again, you can get the idea. You can pause the video and see the sort of questions I'm asking. You can ask your own questions, okay? So the first one, first of all, please let us know which condition best describes you. Obviously, we have all these different options here, so they may click the first one. Do you currently have any of these dental solutions? Again, they may click any option there. How long have you been missing your teeth? Again, gives them all different options. Are you currently unable to eat certain foods or modify the way you chew? Yes, no. Are you currently trying to find relief from any kind of pain? Yes, no again. Are you currently experiencing a lack of confidence in social situations? So this is quite an important question. You don't have to ask this, but it just gets them in the emotional mindset about how it's actually affecting them. Again, it will just make them a lot more keen on actually going ahead with the treatment and taking action. What keeps you from getting your smile fixed? Then you can get an idea here of why they haven't done it already. A lot of people will say cost, obviously, because how expensive the treatment actually is, which ties into the next question. But a lot of people do just put fear and other things as well. So again, this will just give you an idea of what kind of person you're getting through here. So once they click that, obviously they'll go through to this question here, which says payment plans are available. So I assume most practices offer payment plans. And then obviously tying in with that last question, most people will put, yes, I'd rather a payment plan. But you'd be surprised. A lot of people do say they'd rather pay up front. Again, but tying in with the last question, which talks about cost of dental procedures, the next question just ties in nicely with that. So how ready do you feel to go, or how ready to do something about your situation? They can just put very ready, I need something fast. You can see what their urgency is or what level of urgency they're at. Now, I would require or would recommend that you offer a booking deposit. Okay, so take deposits for your bookings because then you make sure everyone turns up to the booking. I do, however, still recommend you give free consultations. So what I would recommend you offer is a refundable booking deposit. However, you can offer just a fixed consultation fee that's non-refundable. You will see less volume, but you will get a higher quality of people. But this just is a nice balance. Okay, someone who's willing to pay, for example, £40 in this example is definitely going to be interested in actually coming in and having a serious conversation about it. So our consultation fee and it will say so it will say our consultation fee with the person, okay, whoever it is that's offering the dental implant, is free for a limited time only. We do, however, require a £40 booking deposit to hold your position. To ensure that you turn up to see us, this will be refunded on the day or deducted of your treatment cost should you decide to move forward. Now, obviously, this isn't said perfectly. You can put it in your own way, just to give you an example. And then what will happen is it says, yes, I understand, no, I don't understand. Again, you can actually put any kind of multiple choice there. But most people, I'd say 99% of people say, yes, I understand. Therefore, 100% they're willing to pay that money up front. Again, it just gets rid of a lot of those people who are not actually that interested, okay? Thank you. Now you just need to provide your contact details, so I'm just going to put in my actual name here. Also, what is your email address? I just put in my personal email address here and mobile number here, okay? So what will happen is they will put in submit. So when they click submit here, it will take them to a finished page, again, which you can create on Typeform. Again, it's very, very self-explanatory on how to do this. And then it will give a finish button. Now, when they click on finish, you can link your website to this, so they can go to your website. They can go to any place that you want them to once they've already filled this out, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. It's a very, very, as you can see, high-quality form. No one's going to fill that form out if they're not interested, okay? It takes some time. It takes them, at least 5 minutes or a few minutes to do at least, which is a lot of time on social media for people to come off. And if they're interested, they're going to fill out all those questions. And then what will happen is you will receive that leads information. Okay, so the step 3 is actually linking Typeform to your email to receive leads. So I'm not going to go over this on this video, but if you type in on Google how to link Typeform with email, there's actually a section on Typeform where you can link your email address to it. So when you get people through the form, it will instantly send those people's information to your email. okay, because that's obviously a very important thing. You don't just want to be getting people through and not actually receiving their details, okay? So remember to do that, link Typeform with your email address. Now, the next point, or something that I would say would link into this point here, step 3, is you want to be calling and following up with these people as soon as possible. So if you get those, or if you get the information through, you want to call them, follow up with them as soon as possible. I am going to be making a video on how to follow up with leads, how to follow up with inquiries online, because there are some fundamentals that you need in place to ensure that you get hold of the most people and book the most people in. But the main rule is the speed of response, okay? So if someone comes through, you want to call them as soon as possible and message them, etc., follow up with them. So just to show you some examples of actual results this month, so I've taken this a couple days ago, I've just kind of screenshotted some stuff together so you can see here of how this actually works. So this one here, you can see in the background, it says new implant campaign is active, currently spending around £20 a day, so I would recommend you spend around that budget. Which isn't a lot, to be fair. So in the last 30 days, you can see here in the top right, last 30 days, which is 30th of October to 28th of November, you can see here 47 people actually submitted that type form or a similar version of type form. That's a lot of leads for dental implants. 47 of those people are actually going through and completing that level of depth or that in-depth form. Okay, 47 people in 1 month. Another example here, again, this is just taken the last 30 days, okay? This happens monthly. So another example here, if we look at the bottom one, it says implants, 25 website leads, which is from the type form as well. 25 of those, literally within the last month, people going ahead or going through that type form, online form and submitting the form, which again, only the serious of people are going to do that. So that's another example. And the last example here is if we look at the bottom here, it says implants, 16 people, and that was only within 14 days. Okay, so we're on track. Obviously, if it gets another 16, and generally it increases throughout the month, the more Facebook get the data, obviously that can double, right? So this is the kind of numbers you can see. Like I said, anywhere between 20 to 40. Well, in the first case, you can see more, 47. Okay, actual people going through that form and filling that out. All right, so what that's going to do is, and last point here is, you can see here the amount of reach that these campaigns are getting. They're not only getting inquiries, they're getting reach of 15,000, this one 16,000, this one here 7,000. They're getting in front of so many people that the competition in the area is just not really standing a chance. They're not going to be getting noticed on the level of these campaigns for these practices. So it won't just help you bring in new patients for dental implants, it will help you really grow your name in the area. So I hope this has been of value to you, and I hope this has made sense. This will definitely help you bring in a lot of new dental implant patients, inquiries, consultations monthly. This will also help you build your name in your local area for dental implants and get a lot more awareness around your practice. If you have any questions about anything specific, let me know. There probably will be some technicalities within this strategy that you have to implement. So if you get stuck on anything, let me know. And I'll be more than happy to help you out and give you some advice. If you follow me, I will be putting out more videos in the future around all different topics when it comes to dental marketing on social media and also Google as well. So if you have any suggestions for me or any specific questions, again, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to get back to you or even make future videos depending on what it is that you would like to see. For now, I hope this helps, and again, get in touch with me if you have any questions. Thank you.